All right, I'm back from Utah, 12-hour drive. I had to pull over in Barstow to rest, even though I only had 3 hours left to drive. Anyway, I'm back, and I'm going to have to machine gun Kelly a bunch of content. The firm conference was amazing, folks. If you didn't come and you've never been to one, go to the one in April. I'll be advertising for it soon. Anyway, some major world events that I believe could have prophetic significance as we approach the second coming of Jesus Christ. And first, what I'd like to do is talk about I woke up in the hotel this morning and I see developments in the Ukraine that a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It startled me. It was what's going on, right? If you don't know, President Zelensky of Ukraine has made a shocking claim that North Korean troops may soon be joining Russian forces. Let me interject here for a second. By the way, I loved Utah, still love it, want to come back to visit. But these are my peeps here, my Hispanic neighbors, my Latino neighbors. You don't find very many in Utah. There are some in different areas, and I love you guys, but I need my tamarindo and my Mexican candy and stuff like that. Anyway, so back to what we're talking about. And also, I loved you guys. Those who supported me on the trip, financially, morally. I stayed with Janet Russin. I always say Russin. The name is Russin. With her husband. They are good members of the church. Normal. We had family prayer morning and night. That's the one they call the psychic. She is not a psychic. She doesn't go around psychicking anything. Her stake president lives 2 doors down from her. He loves them. Their bishop loves them. They're good people. They were normal. We had a birthday party for Rich, who is her husband's mother, who turned 80. And she also said family prayers with us. Andrea was on the phone with us when we would have family prayer. And they have scriptures in their home. They have a huge picture of Christ. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there because the media makes Janet, who was the former executive director of Operation Underground Railroad, as some weird psychic. And there are podcasters who are in the ex-Mo community that paint her in the same way, the same fashion. All right, so let's get back to what I was talking about right here. So, North Korean military personnel could be engaged in combat zones as early as this weekend. That is crazy. Now, why? Well, this potential deployment of up to 10,000 North Korean troops, including 500 officers and 3 generals, represents a huge escalation in the conflict, brothers and sisters. So, to break it down, Zelensky warned that Ukraine may be forced to actually fight North Korea in Europe. Yeah. And I don't know how involved the United States is anymore. I know we're sending money over there and we couldn't go help out flood victims or hurricane victims. What was it? Flood, hurricane? Was it the flood or hurricane? I know 2 things happened at once, but we're still sending money to Ukraine and can't help our own natural disasters here in the United States, right? The feds, wow. But Zelensky is kind of feeling alone on this one a little bit. It might expand the conflict beyond Europe and into the Indo-Pacific region. I would say it raises concerns about the potential for a wider global conflict. So why do I bring this up? I bring it up because the birthing pains, the bridegroom, the savior of mankind, the feelings that we're having, the incremental steps that just keep evolving into something that is both miraculous someday, inviting to the righteous, and damning to the wicked. And I'm talking about the second coming. So now let's shift gears for a minute. I want to discuss the recent aurora displays, the spectacular aurora displays that have been getting some of our friends and podcasters and many sky watchers around the world to be at awe with the heavens. And that's not one thing I talk about very much. I know that others do, like Jared and some other podcasters. But I had to mention it because there is a severe geomagnetic storm that's hitting the earth. And last week, also causing a display of colorful auroras to be visible much further south even than usual. The storm, so I guess this storm rotated as a G4 on a scale of 1 to 5 and was, if I read right, was triggered by a powerful solar flare and a coronal, and basically this like wide mass ejection from the sun. They call it a coronal mass ejection from the sun. Intense. Intense, and something that I don't normally pay attention to. Solar activity, brothers and sisters, is escalating. It's growing. And it's allowing people in states like even Alabama, where I have family, that talked about this with me, and even Northern California, to witness what's going on. Northern lights, breathtaking northern lights. A storm that basically put on a celestial show, but also had potential to affect communications, disrupt power grids. Yeah, disrupt power grids and even satellite functions. A lot of people witness this natural phenomenon. And I would think that as we observe the heavens, I'm going to look more directly into the heavens more than I have been in the past. I think that at events like this unfolding from what's going on with the heavens to this potential expansion of the Ukraine conflict with North Korea and Russia. Did I mention it was because Russia asked North Korea to help them? To the display in our skies. It is important for us to consider, brothers and sisters, the context of Latter-day prophecies. And to remember that things like this remind us of the signs of the times. And it reminds us that we've been counseled to watch for the Savior's return, for the Lord's return. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on these developments? How do you see them? It's just something that's happening? Does it have anything to do with, do you feel like I do that that we're at that, the world is at a pride cycle. It's not just a regional pride cycle anymore, it's the whole world. Do you think that way? Are we past, even poor people live better than kings and queens did a long time ago. So how do you see them fitting into the bigger picture of the last days? Share your insights, brothers and sisters, in the comments below, please. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And brothers and sisters, look for more content, not just about Tim Ballard, which I'm going to be putting out some stuff more and more. I am going to be covering more and more what's going on with Tim because that's escalating. But also, I talk about faith-promoting things. I spoke at the Firm Conference and felt the Spirit. I visited the temple at St. George before I went to the conference, and I had too many slides. My presentation was too big, and so I had to cut it back. But it was on the ancient principles and of the temple and the ordinances and where they come from. So until next time, stay vigilant and keep your eyes on the signs of the times.